What'd you do?
Doing well, but the battle is not over yet.
Nice.
Looks like they're trying to flank to the right.
Get unplayable for me.
Objective Dora is ours.
Another J.
Attention, objective
I don't know
Pwnage
exactly.
has been lost.
Nice.
Alert, we have lost objective Costa.
Fucking hell.
Objective Costa is lost.
Missed.
Mosquito down.
Nice.
This one, I wanted something a little faster than the Tiger. I think it's so slow.
Das Mehrfeuer auf diese Position an. Wurde angewiesen. Macht euch bereit.
Gonna see if I can do something here. Nope, I won't be able to do shit.
Good job. We've taken objective Emil.
Yep.
Objective Cesar is lost. We've taken objective Anton.
Hell, that Sherman's still operable.
Well done. We have taken objective Anton.
The enemy team is full of shit. There's a guy who's driving up towards Foxtrot. He's basically behind the radio tower between E and F.
Objective Dora is out. We have lost objective Emil. Good work. Objective Dora is ours. We have taken objective Dora. We have now taken objective Dora.
The deal with these 32 people in the server, they don't have tanks or planes, do they?
We have now taken objective Friedrich.
Just put some food in it.
Soldiers, we are nearly beaten. We have taken objective. Objective Bertha has been lost. Attention, we have lost objective Pwnage.
Let's try and get it together.
Oh, I was just getting ready to let him have it. I got bazooka and satchel charges and everything.
A20 down.
And besides, we already had third tiger.
Hello everyone, and thanks for watching today's episode. I have not done a BF109 G6 video since, I would say, last June. So with that said, I'll show you my specialization tree and all the far right side. So starting off with that 4X HMGs, it's just way better than going with the 30mm autocannon. The main reason for it is it's just the rate of fire for the most part. You're definitely going to want to go that route if you want to just destroy people in dogfights and so on, or even strafing for that matter. Speaking of dogfights, you want the high altitude package. Yeah, a while back, a few months ago, there was that bug where the BF109 G6 had a higher ceiling than all the other planes. That has been fixed, but even with that said, this is still the best overall airplane in the game. So, people want to call you lame, all that stuff, just tell them, you know, check the patch notes. It's been, for the most part, balanced for, I would say, all the factions, all sides. Alright, moving along. You want to go with the dual. It's actually called the Werfer Granite. That's what that is abbreviated. The dual Werfer Granite 21s. It's these dual 21 CM rockets. They've been nerfed a little bit, but nonetheless, you can really still take out, you know, planes, armor on the ground, you name it. If you saw some of those clips, I mean, you could really just absolutely destroy people with this thing. You know, in the past I went with the butterfly bombs, and I believe you can still use that, if I'm not mistaken, just by resetting this, and it's just, you know, one of the default ones, but I would not recommend that that route anymore. You just want to go with, you know, the dual Werfer Granite rocket pods. It's just, they're amazing, as you have seen. And then last, of course, don't go with spawn beep. You can go with the reinforced wings. Every now and then you're gonna get somebody who's gonna try to ram you. You know, not only that, it just gives you a better chance, especially, I guess, you know, if you die down on AAs and so on. So now, as far as a few tips, you know, again, you're gonna try to go as high as you possibly can. If you got a guy on your 6, you're not gonna be able to do it all the time, but you're gonna, you know, combo this with the smoke. And if he's on your 6, you know, a lot of, I should say, bob and weaving up and down. You know, trying to make him stall, in which all of a sudden he is now, or I should say you are now on his 6. So if you're going up against, of course, the British planes on maps like Hamada, the only plane you would have to worry about having a high altitude package is the Mosquito, not the FB MKV1, but the other one, which would be, technically speaking, the Mosquito MK2, this one. See, there it is. So, that's the only one you would have to really worry about that with. So, the other Spitfires, they don't have the high altitude package. So for the most part, I mean, if that's your thing, you're going to be able to outclimb them fairly easy. Again, if you get against, or sorry, if you go against some of the more experienced pilots, they'll have ways to still compete with you. So you're not going to want to do this every single time. So as far as another tip, like on the map Sundan, for instance, you know, if you're going up against a Valentine AA, unless you have full health, try not to dive straight into them. Try to, you know, go around the map, hit them from the weak spot. Remember, you're trying to aim for the tracks. You're not trying to hit them dead on. It's not going to do as much damage. Static AAs, for instance, go with the high altitude package, but if they see you coming, you're not going to want to just keep going into that. You know, try to, again, to work your way around. You can hit them, fine. As soon as you release those rocket pods, though, don't just keep going right into the flag, because, I mean, they're going to mow you down. Fire them off, and then veer left or veer right, depending on, you know, what's after you. Whether it's a plane, or whatever it is. So, the final thing I would like to mention is, as far as strafing runs, you know, like you saw on Twisted Steel, for instance, I would call it like pepper spraying. I mean, it's just, you know, holding down left click. Well, I use a keyboard mouse, but it doesn't matter if you're using a keyboard mouse or using a joystick, for instance. Even if you do little burst fires on people on the ground, you notice I'm not getting that much of a hit marker. So as far as strafing with these, you know, it's kind of like hit or miss, you know, literally, no pun intended. But if you really want to rack up the kills, I mean, some maps I could recommend. I would highly recommend Breakthrough on Twisted Steel, because again, they're all bunched up on that bridge. So if you're on the German side and the Americans are pushing up on that bridge, I mean, that's really going to work out for you, because you're going to have another pilot focused on the B side, and you're more focused on the A side. And if you have a decent team, they keep them suppressed in there. If you got decent snipers, you know, what are they supposed to do? Or what are they supposed to do, I should say. They're supposed to, you know, flare up that area. So, you know, if you got the enemy constantly highlighted, you know, hit them at an angle. Try not to fly straight up, straight down on the bridge. You might be able to get a few kills doing that. If you really want to rack up the kills, you got to hit it from a side angle, because what's going to happen is, if you don't do that, your rockets are going to hit the steel beams on the Twisted Steel bridge. You know, so can't stress that enough. There's going to be times, of course, you know, you're going to get tempted to just take out the armor, because, you know, your team wants you to do that, and, you know, I can understand maybe doing that like a few times, but if you really want to rack up like monster kills, go for the infantry. You know, it's just the way it is. Yeah, of course, take out the armor, that helps your team, but you shouldn't just be looking strictly for armor, because, you know, if you kill the armor, you might get, what, 1 to 3 guys. If you kill a whole bunch of infantry on the bridge, you could rack up like maybe, you know, anywhere from 3 to 5, like you saw in some of my clips, or even more than that if you get lucky. So, that was another thing I was going to mention. A lot of people do this, the automatic leading edge. My attitude is, this plane is very, very maneuverable already. I just didn't really see the need for that. I would, of course, like to have a spotting scope, but, you know, as the saying goes, you can't have a cake and eat it too. They have actually rebalanced this entire specialization tree, by the way, before the last final patch, or major update, I should say. Second half of the final patch. I think you only got 2 of these. So, it's all well balanced now. But again, I would say 109 pilots, you know, are still going to have the edge. So, you know, there it is. So, no funny voices today or anything like that. Just kind of wanted to get to the point. I know there's a lot to cover. Glad to also, of course, do a, you know, Battlefield 5 video again. And, you know, I'm still going to be doing these. Even though I'm, excuse me, getting ahead of myself. Even though I've done other videos now, like Cold War, Killer Instinct, and so on. Still always going to do Battlefield, so as far as my basic guys who follow me on this, you know, I always appreciate you guys, and there always will be Battlefield in some capacity. So, alright, that's it for today's episode, guys. Stay tuned for the next one coming out. I really want to do a BF109 G2, but man, that plane is no comparison to this one. I'm not liking it. I liked it before, about a year ago. I'm not liking it now. So, alright guys, that's it for today's episode. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one.